egotistical. It would take an ego to recognize that. So in addiction, it's magnified. Egotistical. It would take an ego to recognize that. So in addiction, it's magnified. Egotistical. It would take an ego to recognize that. So in addiction, it's magnified. Egotistical. It would take an ego to recognize that. So in addiction, it's magnified.
A lot of this year.
Right.
A lot of this year is getting real.
It's going to get more, though, because
going to get more intense.
Well, more unexpected, because Saturn is going to be opposite Uranus next year. So
Saturn will be opposite
the planet Uranus.
Okay,
so Saturn's a structure. Uranus wants to break it. Rebel.
Okay, so you have your structure, and Uranus wants to like break it up.
Right.
So it's this
Right, going to be a lot of tearing down of the structure, building.
I ask, will it not be easier for some people in their charts next year as opposed to others? Like, I know a lot of people this year that got slammed with everything, and others floated right through and had a great year.
Well,
so
if it hits your chart and there's personal point in your chart, like your son,
Yeah.
he's happened to have it exactly on his Saturn. So
which,
he's.
by the way, did I tell you that he's coming up? He's moving up to Asheville. So
But, sure, we get hit with things. And also, they say the more you can go with being okay with change and not trying to control things, the easier it is for you.
But we as alcoholics tend to control. I want what I want, and I want it now.
Yeah.
And you're talking before, and I was thinking, ooh, that sounds like Christine. And that was my evil twin sister, who my friends named me after that movie of the car that killed people.
I could never figure out.
Excuse me.
I never saw the movie. I just thought the whole concept was stupid. But
Well,
you know what? Driven by the ego, it's very
right.
funny.
But that was, from what they tell me, I mean, I guess it wasn't real nice.
It's himself. And the time I realized how horrible it was when I was sober, because I was pregnant at a party that everyone was doing everything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, nobody shuts up. Nobody talks. It was just nuts. And I thought, ew, look at these people. They don't even know what each other's saying. And that was, cocaine, and drinking or whatever. And it was like, oh my gosh.
Right. We don't.
You have no
really
clue until you're really, really sober watching the situation.
Yeah, because you think it's fun. Because at first it is fun.
Yeah.
But that's the point of it. It's the progression of it. It doesn't get any better. It only gets worse. And you might be thinking, oh, I just have a drink or two, But then every now and then I get way smashed and I don't remember anything. Well, that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is not how much you drink, but it's who you become when you do
and
drink.
it definitely does. And then it's a depressant. So after all that drinking, it brings you down.
So in contrast for you, because you've been sober how many years?
Almost 9.
Could you share maybe 1, maybe 2 pinnacle experiences alcoholics since then, since you've broken free and been able to do this? Some of those
Besides when she met me, then besides that.
Yeah, other than that, and the fact that we got the
Oh wait,
cameras
was that an
going,
ego thing?
No, I'm serious. I'd love to hear.
A big part of was finally being okay in my own skin, as in, okay, I might be different than you, but that doesn't make me bad. I'm still good. As in, when I started reading tarot down in Florida as a profession, I mean, before I would tell people, like glow-in-the-dark underwear, inventing glow-in-the-dark clothing. People thought that I was crazy. Why would I do something like that? And it's like, well, what about the people that were in, those nightclub fires? Don't you think that they would like to have a pair of, glow-in-the-dark clothing of some to be able to light their way out of a burning building?
So some of the highs of non-alcoholic highs are blessing God thing and could do was in creativity.
Exactly, finding out how creative you are.
Right. Well, being okay.
I have a friend who was a writer in the city and producer writer, and she thought she could only do her work partying. And then years later, when she became sober and wasn't doing it, she realized what a mess she was making out of her life. She thought it was great because you're on this high that you think you're so fabulous, you're up all night, but she really accomplished nothing and didn't realize why isn't my life taking off until afterward. You really have yourself in this mindset of things are being...
Yeah. Well, it was like back when, when drinking, I'm an alcoholic, I can quit time I want. And
I don't drink every day.
I'm not as bad as, right. It's like, I'm not as bad as, that finger pointing out, I'm not as bad as, And growing up, we really didn't have alcohol in our house. You know, my father, I only ever saw him drunk once. And, you know, I thought it was kind of comic because we never saw him drunk.
Right.
But my mom would scream and yell and you know, if he stopped and bought a...
So, see what happens when you drink too much or
Oh,
you do to people?
you see that
When
cemetery?
you drink and drive? We got a cemetery happening here.
That is one time my husband was drunk and he was on his way home. Well, okay, he made it home and the motorcycle wasn't in one piece, you know, I mean, the headlight was bouncing. And it took him 3 days before he felt okay to go out and look at the motorcycle to find out that he had hit a deer. He hit a deer with the motorcycle and he woke up in a cemetery and he thought he was dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, so it's a roll-in.
The Roland is dead?
The Roland's dead too?
The Roland rolled over?
Hey, we wing it.
Well, I tell you, I'm thinking of doing a live show of readings next week, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe we have to edit the cuss out of it.
No, you
The
don't.
roll-in was doing.
Oh, you believe it?
Ooh, look at how many ends I have. I'm a Gemini rising. I can handle it.
See how much fun this is, audience? Oh, no, there's the meaning of
Wait
life.
a minute. Oh, that's your roll-in. No, my roll-in. Where's my roll-in?
I'll give you yours. It's going to do the same thing. I was trying a new tape to see if it was the tape itself.
Oh, you know what it is? It's somebody put in a non-Sony tape because you can't put in a non-Sony because that's what happens.
Uh-oh.
When you're here, you have to do it with a non-Sony.
Christopher, I didn't give you a non-Sony tape, did I?
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm wearing my Glow Butt t-shirt is I'm going down to Florida. I'm leaving right after this show to drive.
You're driving tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And it's going to be kind of like one of those emotional thingies
Yeah.
because of where I'm going to, you know, with family. And, you know, one of the things that...
Don't pick up drinking. I won't have you.
Oh, no, I know where and when. I know where and when. And that's a great thing about... It's anonymity, and I'm breaking my anonymity because I am a grateful alcoholic, and I do go, and I am a member of a 12-step program. Oh, that's the wrong one. No.
We're not going to catch you doing the dirty deed, are you?
Yeah, I
We
know,
need to get rid
but
of
that's too far. That's too far forward. That's the beginning of it.
Let's forget.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. We're
Bill's all he's thinking is,
Sorry, I don't even think my tape.
I'm way too anal to have to go.
yeah. Don't worry about it.
I will not be at ease if this were my show.
And see that's part of you know. I mean, boy, this would be a
Oh,
great.
wait, we get the rolling.
This would be a great excuse to go out and get drunk, let me tell you. If you guys want to contact us, okay, I am Lisa, they call me GloLady, this is GloLady TV, and you can find us at MySpace on GloLady TV, or you can go to Google Video and go to GloLady TV, GLOLAY, and you can watch runs, putting our re-rec up. It's like, okay, where's the camera? Where am I looking at?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So tell us another one.
Cosmic Kim. Another one. What?
I was going to say another experience, but I could say even for credit card debt is about shopping addictions, like people that shop to feel better. I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
I used to be one of them until
Really?
I found books or astrology, and then I got upset with that.
And sweets.
Sweets,
I-
but
yeah.
so you do
God, yeah.
transfer
Well,
an addiction.
yeah, you
right?
do.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, definitely
alcohol
shopping.
breaks down into sugar when you put it in your body. So when you stop drinking, you crave sugar.
It was. I didn't know carbs, sugar. Carbs turn into sugar. Sugar turns into sugar, and then there's a lot of things that don't taste sweet. But if you look in the ingredients, are either carbs or sugar based.
Right.
So we are a very acid based diet, which causes a lot of disease. I'm trying to be more alkaline. One of my best friends, Tony, who's a nutritionalist,
Who will be
she
on
is
the
a
18th.
master at alcohol foods, organic, doing things right. And
No good. She's going to come tell everybody about
Brilliant.
it.
Yeah,
brilliant
she'll be here
woman.
on the 18th.
brilliant woman. Yep.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, I wonder how we are going to do our roll-in. Hey, man, how are we going to do a roll-in?
I do have your ex. Yeah.
Oh, that'll
roll-in is
work?
working. Where do I need to set up that one tape?
240?
I'm set for that.
Well, I
Ooh.
definitely have friends with shopping addictions who, no
Yeah.
matter what, think shopping feels good.
Feels
And it does. You feel really good at the moment, but it still doesn't change your life or your
Right.
world, and that's it. It's just a temporary
A temporary
high
fix,
to
yeah.
come back, and now you have the bills and all the guilt that comes with it, and you hate yourself.
And because it's mainstream, this kind of discussion you can have, you may not have had 20, 30 years ago. You can ask anyone, what is your addiction? They know. We all know what we cannot control or have a hard time controlling. The imbalance doesn't even feel good. You know, it really
Right.
doesn't. There's something in the psyche, something in your higher self with the work I do in activating people's spiritual glands. are that, there is a price to pay. It's usually even during the addiction, there's this out of control and negativity and loss of self-love, self-respect. So
gambling, another big,
our
huge
society is
one. Yeah.
extremely stressful, and it's very easy for the quick fix of addiction, whatever it is. The good news is to talk about it, let it off, and go to higher power, and recognize that you are a divine being. You're a spiritual being having a physical experience, but the contrast of what feels good without strings and without negative payoff. And so you have to try experiencing more and more joyful stuff without any price to pay. And usually it starts with creativity and surrender to knowing that you have a connection to the divine.
And also, you're not alone. I mean, you think, I remember the first time I went into the rooms of AA. Now, I had gotten a DUI back in 1987. And that was my first experience, but I wasn't, I'm not that alcoholic, I'm not as bad as you guys are real. When they told me to go on, and I went there, and my first question is, how do you get my husband to quit drinking? And it's like, no, you work on you. Well, that wasn't the answer I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear how to get him to quit drinking. I'm not the one who had the problem. I can quit whenever I want.
You change your attitude and your ways.
But it was then, and a lot of people are court ordered, which I think is cool, because at least they know where to go when they want help. And I remember when the first day that I went in, and a sense of relief and release that lifted from me, because I knew what was wrong with me.
You just never admitted it.
I didn't know. I didn't know that I was now.
Did you not know? Because I think we always
but
know.
see, I thought it was crazy. My mother said that I should be on drugs. Because I am, the manic depressive.
So it was a relief for you to know that there
what was wrong with me,
a
that there was a
diagnostic.
solution.
Yeah, there you go.
That there was a solution.
Right.
Cool. I'm great, because the life that I live today is better and happier than I've ever lived in my life before, and that's a big part of. All that one, the insecurity and I am what I am, and I'm not like you. I must be, and the dis-ease within me.
Even a healthy exercise program, the endorphins you get from it is such a high. But then people can overdo that, and they get so addicted to that, and then they just overkill with their food. And I've seen so many people addicted that way. And it's like, okay, that's still an addiction. You're controlling every single thing that goes into your mouth.
Right, and it's like me, trying to quit smoking cigarettes. I mean, that's been a struggle. I've started, and how many times have I quit while I've been hanging with you? I mean, it's like
everyone I know. I mean, thank goodness.
There's a
one
gift
thing.
that I've given myself. I'm very, very proud of. For some strange reason, I've never smoked.
Me either.
When
Really?
everybody was smoking in high school and in college, and I tried it, and I go,
Why is you're not going to get
I've
off?
never had to go through the exorcism of
either.
when watching people quit.
Me either.
Yeah.
And what it does to the body, what it does to the skin. I mean, after a while, you look like luggage. And it's expensive. It's
So
really
does tanning at the
expensive.
beach luggage.
There you go. Yeah, you look like luggage.
I got the luggage look
like
without
rawhide.
smoking.
The joke was, remember the Marlboro Man? Yeah. I used to think, here's this guy with all this cattle, and they're crapping all over the place on the billboards, and it says, come to where the flavor is. That just didn't make any sense.
Some people
Where
like
did
the
that
taste
come
of
from?
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
That's another enticing to smoke, but I never did. The first time I picked up a cigarette, my dad happened to have caught me, and all he did, meanwhile, he smoked 5 packs of Camel non-filter a day, looked at me and said, you disappointed me. That was it. Drove off, and I never lifted another cigarette.
Aren't you glad you've not had to pay that? How much are cigarettes now? They're
I
like,
know. But one line, that was it
cheapies.
for me. I go, I wish my kids that easy without smoke this, but you have a smoker, one smoker. So
I'm gonna try this trip.
there are better times to quit a habit. We always tell people that in astrology, there are better times to give you more help with the planets in the sky. We're done? Oh,
no, I was just looking
Yeah,
at the
no,
time.
my excuse was,
Blackout.
when I quit work.
Like, you know how you can have a good
That's
time?
when I picked up another cigarette again.
Well, of course.
Easy to
Why?
It's
I got to
that-
fix the, oh no, I want to feel what just
Right,
happened to me. Let me
right.
fill my body with smoke so that it clouded my mind and I don't get so upset.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's what it is.
That's yeah.
This reminds me of, there's drugs of choice. And obviously going to the gym is a better drug
Right.
than cocaine, heroin, or anything hard substance abuse. I think the one element we may not have touched on tonight, which I think is really important to recovery, is forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
So you
Giving
slipped,
yourself.
so
So
you had a
right.
bad day, so
Yeah.
what? I mean, you
the
really
first thing
do.
you have to do is forgive
It's like,
yourself.
it's okay, I'm not
Yeah.
there yet, I'll get there.
3 steps, forward. Sometimes it's one step forward, three. Always try to go forward.
That's it. That's
Because
it.
you're never really set back in the sense of, I have to start from square one. Never. No matter what progress you've made, if you've had a window of success for 2 days or 2 weeks, you have that memory in your cells. I've done it for that period. So it's a ratio thing where now I can extend the period where it's longer.
But it's like, okay, understanding, you know, the addiction part of, and knowing that it's that first one. And I understand the obsession, compulsion, and desire to drink as I do with the cigarettes. Now, I never had that obsession to drink like I do with the cigarettes, but I can relate to it. And I also understand that, you know, I can't, you know, but we can, meaning that I can do all things through the power who strengthens me, but I've got to want to.
Right. Your mind is very
powerful. I have to want to quit smoking. So I'll let you know, good, I quit smoking back.
I think, because I noticed even for me, is something goes wrong, all of a sudden I can pull out that loaf of bread with butter, and then what I'm just saying. You like that too?
Do you know how many bread makers I've turned away? Because if I had that in the house, we just throw it in, and it turns you've got bread.
Bread maker. But the thing is, I started to realize whenever I did reach for it, was something just happened emotionally that I didn't want to feel, and I was trying to stuff it with the bread. And then when I started to realize that, I would stop myself and say, wow, let me just feel what just happened. Because you really got to get in touch. It's really about not feeling.
That's it.
Because we never want to feel that hurt and that pain. Whatever it is, cigarettes too. I mean, anything. And you let that whole job as experience emotionally.
Yeah.
And it's so easy not to rather not feel and have something cover
and it's like, what excuse? You know, like I was saying, you know, today, well, gee whiz, if I was still drinking, I had a heck of a day. It didn't go right. Nothing went right. Nothing went right.
Right. We all have it.
And that's an excuse for me.
Right. I me, people. But now, does anybody bake any bread today? I can stop. Bill? No.
There's healthy bread.
No, I'm not saying bread. I'm just saying, you know, when you're about to eat a whole loaf of bread, there's something's up. I've learned to do that in moderation.
I have a confession. I did that yesterday.
You ate a whole... See, I knew it.
Well, here's the deal. Where I live downtown, I live not far from a wonderful caterer, Celine and Company, and they own On Broadway, the caterers. So whenever there's leftovers, they're always, you know, because I'm involved with the community and cleaning up the street. We've done a lot there. I get a knock on my door, and there's this homemade baguette, which is supposed to just cut in half, and then you put it in the microwave and put the butter. Now, I don't use regular butter. I use ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, but it's alkalizing, and you don't really gain weight with it. It's that
I want some ghee. I want some ghee.
It's that whole thing about a small slice.
Right.
You have another.
Of course.
And you work your way to the whole
thing.
It was gone. It was gone. It was gone.
How about the chunk of brie? That's it. I'm 4 days with Fred and Brie.
Pumpkin pie. Do you know that I was going to my friend's house for Thanksgiving, and I bought a pumpkin pie at Earth Fair?
Yeah.
And all I had was a little slice that started the roll, and
Anybody been to a Weight Watcher meeting? Oh no! See, this is.
I ate the whole pie.
So you see, that's why this show is called Revelations, because we're finding out things
about
that we're all
Pete's bread.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like Weight Watchers, I'd go to Weight Watcher meetings years ago, and all they did was talk about all that good food. Like right now, I bet all of you are really hungry. Someone's going to go out there and get bread right now. Someone's going to. We're trying to help you. We're screwing you.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it for fuel for your body? Or you're doing it for the pleasure of that sin?
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm hungry.
He's a cute one too.
Jonathan just walked in and said, "Oh,
see, look what we just did to this crowd."
Yeah, really. But we're not supposed to be bad influencers.
I truly found that at Weight Watchers. I sit in a room and these people would talk about food that they were missing. I'd leave and get a gallon of ice cream on the way home. I'm like, they just described it so amazingly
that's
well.
somebody with Narcotics Anonymous. That a friend of mine, he goes there, and he's, you know, I hear quite a few times that people, when they go there, that they do what we're doing, which I'm sorry, people,
we didn't mean to do that. Like you said, let's talk about how good we feel when we don't do that.
And they do want to, you know, because they're bringing up, they're romancing it.
Get in touch with the earth. I mean, just that alone does it. I mean, breathing the air, just taking a walk, looking at the,
the quality of developing something that our culture does not foster, and that is the art and the beauty of self-control. I did get on an alkaline diet thanks to Tony a year and a half ago. It was all salads, no sugar, no carbs. But my biggest love is cheese. You know, I just love cheese. So
me too.
I knew that. She even said we're going to do this for a 3-month period. They feel sick. The herbs and because she did blood and urine and saw how, you know, you can go to the health food store and get
those little
strips.
Yeah.
It goes, the acid is the yellow, and you get to the green and it's solid. Buddha.
Jonathan, he's having a major Jupiter transit. We're going to see a lot of
He's got a
him.
box of chocolate cookies out there for Christmas. Anyway, for 2.5 months,
Anybody come on down to the show, he'll share his cookies.
For 2.5 months, it was sluggish. I felt worse, and then all of a sudden, gradually, it was like the thought of sugar, the thought of carbs, almost was repugnant to me.
Yeah.
And I had thinned down. I kind of like the weight I am now.
Right.
I'm at my ideal weight, but when you get past that period, you notice that uncomfortable period. I've seen people go through exorcisms giving up coffee, where they just do cold turkey and they get migraines and the whole bit. You really realize that we are born without any of those addictions. Before we've polluted ourselves and our thoughts and our emotions and our minds with substance and substitutes. And unfortunately, our society and
putting that
makes
Marlboro
that
Man up
important.
there.
When you get to that point of, like the first line in Conversations with God, the first time he hears God's voice is, "Have you had enough?" And so when you had enough, it's like the price of staying in addiction is greater than the price of fighting it and leaving it. And that's where we want to be. And so the creativity, that's what I'm excited about, the work I'm going to be doing, with URTV, is that when you physically feel spirit coming on you, it's a high that's beyond drugs, and you realize your connection has been clogged by the around lesser gods of addiction and compulsion.
I mean,
lack of control.
I was always a happy person, and I haven't really had any, and I'm happy. I mean, everything's wonderful. All this new stuff, my astrology group, everything. It's just wonderful, and it's all natural.
That's it. That's
all
it.
natural, and it's
I
great.
really, this is a calling. I thoroughly enjoy what we're doing.
By the way, at least for me, she studio and reading for me was very impressed. I felt encouraged, and I was looking forward to that. And now it's my turn for you to come over and do a reading for you. Looking forward to that.
And that's a big part of is giving out. Hey, this is the beginning, Chris. It has to be queued to 240.
Another hour?
I have it queued at 240.
Okay.
The tape at 240? Yeah, because that was the beginning.
Okay, then. Well, guess what? We're going to start over. We're going right through your show, Chris. That's it.
I got it.
I know, I
Another
know.
hour with us. There you go. That's
Contact
the meaning
Kosmic
of
Kim,
life.
KOSMIC, MOUSC.
Cosmic Kim Mouse. Cosmic Kim Mouse. She said MOUSC. And I will enable you to have a good time without this.
Yeah, that's ginger ale. That's what that is.
That's my
And Bill
sparkling
Bauer.
raspberry juice.
www.billbowersguidance.com, and I'm at Light Source Studio, 31 Carolina Lane in downtown Asheville. Or since you would like to come and participate in the audience, here at URTV, January 8th, Tuesday from 5 to 6, and get a free reading on the air and recognize the spirit coming through for validation in your new year.
It will be your last
And
chance to meet those relatives.
please, if you're going to drink, don't drive.
Exactly.
And if you do, I wish you well, and I hope you hit a bomb so that you back up and realize that you don't have to stay in the gutter for the rest of your life.
Good point.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
So we still have more time? Or what?
We have more time. We have a roll-in going.
What's the health tip of the day? We like a hallelujah to hallelujah.
Is there
Hallelujah, amen, the machine final words.
You know what I do find that so many people say, oh, I'm too tired to go work out, or too this, and they don't realize how much more energy you get once you do. You're really tired because you haven't done anything.
Okay, tip for the day.
That's
Whenever
my-
you feel like sticking something in your mouth that you know isn't going to be good for you,
Not good for you. Go walk.
go walk.
Or read a book, or do
read a
something you
book.
like. Yeah, we all know
Or
it.
look in that newspaper, or look in the phone book under.
Life is too short to be a couch potato.
Right. So if you're thinking about a lot of like lemon chicken, just spray it with Pledge. And there you go. My idea of having you over for dinner, I'll make reservations.
going on?
There you go.
This is the end. It's rolling. Yeah, if you guys get to the end, I don't know if you can even hear it. Can you hear that, Chris? Is that working? Is sound working? James Crouch, I'm going to Florida and I'm going to be getting an interview with him, so you'll learn more about him when I come back.
That would be just Gouda.
Bree, please.
Yes.
Oh my God!
What happened? What do you do? Oh, I feel like this is done.
It's off.
It is. That was.
Yeah, you looked in there.
Shut up! Anthony, you Christopher, that's it, you're fired.
My family was doing it now. My
How come I had 3 heads? I'm gonna kick your butt.
Oh my God, that was one of their shows.
All of a sudden, I'm hearing a voice in my head. It's radio.
I know. But that's
Whatever.
And because I was switching that one tape to try and get it to work, that's why I got off track on it. And I didn't
yeah.
realize
So your show's
It's
next?
no biggie.
Now, Biggie, I want to stop now.
No, but I meant for.
Are you live?
Yeah.
Are you here?
Who's your crew?